Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And yes, we're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers. Okay, so in the description box, you're going to see the link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by Autistics for Autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's quote-unquote behavior modification program. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much. They have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they do not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so please read that article and share on all your social media. We also have NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat as linked in the box there, and a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding in case the JRC has balls to see through with their threat. We also have the links to the Agape boarding school situation. Agape boarding school is a Christian-themed boarding school based out of Stockton, Missouri that takes in troubled male teens that has and pending over 21 lawsuits against it that are alleging sexual abuse, physical abuse, psychological and emotional abuse, starvation, and as of now, child trafficking. We've had one former staff arrested by the FBI. We've had another staff member that used to be a doctor on the premises now facing trial after substantiated claims of sodomy and multiple counts of sexual abuse. So, folks, we dismissed one case. We're petitioning for another. The circus has come to town in my state, so please read these articles and share on all your social media. Also, we have a link to the change.org Shut Agape Boarding School Down petition. You're also going to see the pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, folks, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, all right? Okay, this channel is marked not for kids, for a reason. We use profanity on this channel and we talk about dark subjects. If your child is under the age of 16, parental supervision is obviously advised. All right, folks, it is 4:03 a.m. I am not awake, I'm hungry, and I'm grumpy. So if I stumble over my words, folks, apologies in advance, all right? Also, if I clear my throat or sniffle, fall allergies are just kicking my ass, so apologies for that too. All right. So where we left off yesterday, JRC wants the student to be able to handle a wide variety of frustrating situations and not just a particular frustrating situation that is used on one or two program ops. Again, the JRC seems to forget the fact that we already know the world is frustrating, okay? We are atypical brains being forced to live in a neurotypical world that is not fucking built for us and use everything to pressure us to either become exactly like them, which involves masking every single day of our lives, or to put us behind doors, pat our heads, and tell us to stay there and be good little disabled people. We get the point. We deal with frustrating situations from the moment we open our eyes till the time we shut them. We get it. Alright? Consequently, it is necessary to present a wide variety of program ops that involve frustrations. Oh, for fuck's sake. So you feel that it is your job to cause them more trauma by increasingly making their lives more difficult because you want to teach them to deal with frustration. Really? You mean starving them, shocking them, and jumping at them? That's not enough for you? You gotta make it worse. You know how autistics deal with that many issues piling on, don't you? We don't. It causes meltdowns, folks. And the fact that I know that they shock us when we try to deal with these frustrations by a means of self-soothing and self-regulating by means of stimming, because they don't allow that because shock. But you gotta deal with it appropriately. My means of dealing with my difficulties is not like yours. Again, quit trying to force atypical brains to be neurotypical brains. It's never going to happen. Stop removing from us what we have as self-regulating stems, and then maybe we will be able to deal with said frustrations appropriately without getting aggressive. But we can't have logical thought here now, can we? When a response, e.g., accepting the disappointment comfortably without losing one's temper and becoming aggressive, is shown in a wide variety of situations, we call the acquisition of stimulus generalization, for fuck's sake. God forbid an autistic get fucking frustrated. People like JRC don't like us to be human. What do I mean by that? The regular human response to become frustrated, to show outward irritation, to engage in self-regulatory behaviors normal to our neurotype, such as stimming. Well, we can't have any of that. No, we're supposed to accept it comfortably in silence. It sets you up for being a victim for the rest of your lives. See, there's a reason why, as human beings, we have these emotions. It may help us to stand up against an injustice. It may teach us to speak out on issues that need to be changed. It helps us to stand up for ourselves. But the JRC considers standing up for yourself to be aggressive. Shock. Right? Right? Because the fact of the matter is, they don't differentiate between the autistic that is engaging in self-soothing, self-regulatory behavior that is not harming literally fucking anyone, nor the autistic who is standing up for themselves against an injustice towards one that actually wants to punch you in the face. And I'm sorry, JRC, with the way you treat those kids, I'm actually surprised they don't punch you in the face more often. I sure would have hell have. Okay? They want you to be stoic all the time. And they call this normal, when it's actually not. If you were to provide these same ops on a neurotypical student, they're going to show frustration. They're going to show aggression. And why is that? Because that is a perfectly human response to have when frustrated. When something's not fair. When something is not right. It is a normal human emotion to have. Neurotypicals will also engage in some sort of self-soothing. But you don't see them jumping down their throats when they engage in it, now do they? No, because they're normal. But once again, we're not holding neurotypical kids up to the same standards that we hold autistic kids to. We are both at once subhuman, yet held to above human standards of acting. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We know when we were in our right minds that the first thing to do with a frustrating situation is not to punch someone in the face. But if someone's continuously picking at you, and pointing their finger in your chest, we'll start verbally. We'll start then getting more aggressive verbally. Eventually, we're going to take your hand and break it. I hate to be that person to tell you, but yeah. This is why ABA is completely unsuccessful, because it treats us as subhuman but holds us to above neurotypical human standards. Okay? They don't want us to have emotions. They point their fingers and say we have no emotions and we're sociopathic, but when we show we have emotions, holy shit. We might as well be Lucifer incarnated in front of them. They don't allow autistics to be human. We get punished for the same things that are just accepted in neurotypical kids. This is why this will never work. Not permanently, not really. Not to mention, let's talk about the fact that this is damaging. It just teaches you to accept what's unfair and unjust. To accept being punished. Accept that you don't deserve to be treated like everybody else, with silence and compliance. It sets the student up to be a victim, and basically might as well plant a target on our backs for every single predator out there once they come out of this school. If you had it drilled in to be compliant, be silenced, never complain, always obey, never speak out, never stand up for yourself, you think a predator is not going to see that target on your back? Because they will. All right? You are grooming that child to be a victim of abuse and exploitation for the rest of their lives. Now, I'm going to close out on that note. We don't get very many reviews on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.